So snap, so snap.
So snap, so snap.
Cut, so, cut, so.
Cut, so, cut, so. 23, Washington Place. Greenwich Village. New York City. 1911. America is melting.
Melting. The sound of bells. Yes, the bells are ringing for us. I can hear them.
For us all. In my mind's eye, I can see myself as a dove. Elegant, snowy wings glide, softly flapping through the ocean of clouds. The ringing of the bells draws my tiny body closer, closer to the edge of the sky, drawn to rays of sun, glinting off at the crystal chariot.
In my home of Bonamundo, we would cook sausages. Air fills my lungs, clean, fresh air.
My father would fatten the casings and he would throw the dead pieces of meat onto the metal rods, lipless, impaled.
And the buildings would stretch out into space. My fingers would graze the tips of the hard cinders.
Higher and higher we go as our bodies lift gracefully towards the open land. In the flash of a flame second, I sense
the opportunities.
Fire would ignite with a thunderous roar. My mother would laugh at the sight of the stinking, smoldering flesh. Freedom!
Freedom!
It meant that we had enough money to eat.
Why?
And I would watch the small pieces of animal flesh scorch underneath the flames.
Why?
So young. I always ate so much khachapuri that they called the little dough girl in Russian. I would eat so much. As the drippings of the animal's lard plummeted towards the open flames through the meager metal rods, there was this sizzling sound, and then a pop!
The dress I'm wearing is from Poland. Our wages are so low at the factory, we cannot even afford to buy one of their cheap garments. The garment was my mother's. She gave it to me before we left the old country. That was many years ago. My sister was barely old enough to comprehend.
Get to work. Work, 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 work.
Work!
The outside, the building looked
Strong.
when in reality it was fragile.
Like the shell of an egg.
Mother was
Weak, was always trembling. Her mind was strong, but her body was
brittle.
I can barely remember my mother. She did not smile often.
We came to America. That made her very
sad. There was joy inside, but at the same time, utter sadness.
My mother's eyes were sapphire, deep oceans. I can see them piercing through water across the atmosphere. She sees me. Between the rusty clay of the setting sun, my mother's eyes glow outward across the skyscape.
I know my father loved her very much, but
my mother's eyes. Inside her saddened eyes, there was a place of comfort. Within the rim of her iris is where I live now.
Last evening I met a man, Garcelanco. He hails from Naples. He's 6 feet tall, chestnut hair, the most impressive amethyst eyes. How striking he is. Arm in arm we strolled as we turned the corner around 13th Street. My heart, for the first time in my life, felt the strange elation I had only known from literature. I began to pull ahead down the sidewalk, but Garcelanco held strong. Beneath the red and green painted sign, he confidently approached the large glass window and waved his hand. In an instant, a flicker of light. I looked up at the stranger whose arm I clutched as if to hold on to forever. He smiled down at me. My face flushed, but I managed to smile back. Mr. Mazzarino opened the door and welcomed his only 2 customers for the evening as we sat down at a table for 2. During dinner, we smiled and laughed, and I looked into this man's beautiful face. At the corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of Mr. Mazzarino smiling. Then, he turned off the light and went right out the back, alone. Alone in the restaurant, Garcelanco told me how Mr. Mazzarino was his neighbor in Naples and how he had known him since he was a young boy. He shared stories of his past. He would help his uncle pull in kingfish at the docks in a giant net, and how he had to learn how to club these enormous fish over the head until they struggled no more. He was told this was merciful, but cried every night afterward by himself in bed. He even teared up at the story, and I held his hand. We smiled. We shared stories of our past, our lives, and our dreams for the future. When I told Garcilanco I wanted to be a designer in fashion, he didn't laugh like others had. He just said in a calm voice, "I know you would be wonderful." My entire life's existence culminated into one single night, that night. Oh, how many lives would one give for the opportunity to explore this world on a night like that? The lights in New York are so bright in the evening. One can barely make out the stars in the sky.
We have all the time now.
Time.
All the time the planet can offer us. We are no longer looked down upon. Immigrants. Dirty immigrants, they call us. Why are we so dirty?
Why are we so different?
We are no different here. Here, we are exactly the same. Living, breathing, dreaming among the heavens, just like the rest of the city.
But I'm scared.
Don't look down. Never look down.
It was hot. The heat was in my heart. The heat was in my head. The heat was in my
soul.
The heat was.
Don't look down!
Never looked down, and so I looked out, straight out into the future. Forward were my eyes, forward were my hands.
So.
Forward was my future. As the wind snapped at my ruddy cheeks high above the atmosphere, I could see a large man with beady eyes standing at a door. His eyes peered into the depths of my being.
What's in your bag, Missy?
Nothing.
Empty the contents.
No,
Empty your bag, now.
They're only scraps.
What is this?
They're scraps of the fabric. We don't use them for the trousers or anything. We throw them away. They are scraps for the trash.
Lock the doors!
No!
Lock them, I say!
Let me out! I can't breathe. I cannot breathe.
Come with me!
No!
Now!
No!
Come with me, urchin!
No! I am free! I am free! Free!
So!
Faster! No! Leave her alone.
She doesn't sew.
Go.
Be fortunate for the work, foreigner.
You're American.
But for how long?
For as long as we live!
We'll see about that.
Air! I need air!
You'll sew until the ending bell.
She needs to breathe. She needs a break. You lock us away like animals.
You steal fabric. Who's the animal now?
I am clear. I can pass. I collected myself and I pushed against the door. It did not move. I pushed again and again with all my weight, but the door did not move. The door is locked.
Locked.
Away in our own little world, we strolled through the crisp March air. His warm hand tickled my palm. His fingers crawled like loving little spiders, then he wrapped his hand in mine. He stood gazing at his dark aurora. The enormous pumpkin orange moon lazily seeped into the corners of my cornea, reddening our faces as we basked in a different kind of blue. In one hand, I held my heart. In the other, I reached out to touch the moon. My stomach began to churn and my entire body began to tremble. His palms were coarse and weathered. Before he goes to bed each night, he feverishly attempts to scrub the dark, blackened ink from underneath his fingernails. He works in a printing factory on the Lower East Side. No amount of washing can remove the grease and oil from under his fingers, the harsh institute of American labor. But within his large, dirty paws, my strained, tired hands felt like a rose petal. I shivered as rain began to lightly drizzle from the heavens. He swung his other arm around me and drew me in close in a warm embrace. as we stood face to face. I thought he was going to touch his lips to mine, so I leaned in to meet his breath. And as I began to lean in, he jerked my body away and we began to dance. I let out a startled scream of joy. And like those forgotten childhood summers in Innsbruck, the two of us danced and laughed. The cathartic tones and forgotten rhythms of the music enveloped my body. The entire day at the factory was forgotten. We swung our young, precious, delicious bodies around and around in the middle of Times Square. There was no music, but we danced nonetheless. Onlookers pointed and laughed at the crazy immigrants swinging around the horses and carriages and men carrying boxes. Against the flickering illumination of the street candles, our shadows bounced across the moonlight as we danced. How does this remarkable man, who knows nothing in the world about me, know that when I am dancing, the movement possesses my feet and feeds my soul full of mirth? How did he know this? We only met 9 days ago, yet he's mysteriously entered my soul and found the key to my laughter. I let my body and spirit run and loose. My mind is untethered like a carousel as it spins. The sweet chords of the instruments rub my temples, and the tunes sink deep within the pores of my skin. As we enter my front door, the smiles on our faces collapse into straight lines. We kiss again. Soft and slow, I savor each precious moment. The taste of his lips are safe. The ecstasy of his breath irresistible. The gleam in his eye as we finally pulled ourselves away. This drop in time I will always carry with me. For I will never see him again. Now there is nothing. There is nothing.
My bones are melting, my skin flaking as the searing heat licks my brain. The crimson dragon is tugging at my soul as the drops of blood perspire from my eyeballs. The shards of broken veins burst in my legs. The capillaries fuse with the frail, chalky bones of my broken body. I have never seen such height. I can feel her heart hammer through her chest. We hold each other so tight that her bony ribs stab through my ashen, searing skin.
Smoke begins to fill my lungs. I must leave. I must escape. I must traverse the fire escape. Hand in hand, we slip our charred bodies through the red bricks and shards of broken glass. I can hear the terror, the screams of people on the street below.
We are 9 stories up.
I'm afraid of heights.
As we begin to descend the window out onto the fire escape,
I hear a voice, a primal howl. A girl screams from inside the building. She speaks Russian. The girl is shrieking, thrashing around like a savage beast. I can only see her backside. I hesitate, and then I move. In an instant, I stop. As the body turns around, flames of fire are bathing her torso, her flesh, the pyre. Her dress and hair were once tender, smooth. Her arms flail wildly. I can see bone. I do not know this girl. I have never seen her before in a factory, or maybe I have, but I can no longer recognize her as the hellfire envelops her face. I move towards her, but my sister pulls me back.
I try.
I break free and go towards the wild creature, but before I can take 2 steps, the wooden floorboards beneath my feet give way, and for an instant I can feel all of my internal organs in my throat. My body falls. As my arms reach instinctively upwards, I can feel a pair of hands grab my wrists. It is my sister.
The person I'm closest to in this world.
Nina, Yetta,
Yes, Father?
my daughters, we have given your life meaning. Be free. Live as you couldn't in the old world. This new land is wonderful. Its people are magnificent. I must go now.
No.
It is the will of God. Now is the time. The mighty Lord has blessed you both with wings of angels, and I cannot help but feel proud to have helped you learn to fly, and you will live long and wonderful lives. No tears, no sorrow, only life. Live your life, my children. Make me so so proud. I will see you again beneath the rainbow. Farewell.
Father!
And now we are together. Finally together. I'm with the person that I'm closest to.
The person I am closest to in this world.
My sister.
Gazing down through the cedar's cindered planks, I spot the tempest that is the raging fire. Through the searing heat, time freezes. Girls like us, barely women, are running, screaming, dying. I can see the pictures in my mind, unclouded like moving photographs.
I pull.
My sister pulls my tiny body up close to hers, unscathed, safe.
We are safe. We race to the window where hundreds of bodies are wedging, crushing their way out of the 9th story. The building's frame is splitting, the structure is collapsing, the heat melting the mortar between the red bricks. As I put my hand on the outer wall, it simply gives way, 9 stories down to Green Street. I look out over the abandoned confines, my long hair whipping across my mouth. Sweat and smoke pollute my brain. Yetta is in my arms, stiff, still like a porcelain doll. Down below, I can make out a circle. A group of men hold a massive net.
A circular net.
Like fishermen, they have come to take us home.
I wouldn't mind so much at this moment.
In Messina, the fishermen are strong. The muscles in their backs undulate and spasm from pulling in fish from the depths of the blue. Day in and day out, these men provide for their families. They look after the family. It is the way of things in Italy. It has always been this way.
Yes, I can see them. The men are wearing bumblebee-striped hats and heavy wool coats. Their strapping voices rise up through the ebony smoke and winding soot. Their resonance is garbled but solid.
Jump!
We must jump!
Jump! Like creatures of the ocean who want to be caught.
But the women are terrified, frightened.
You must jump!
Our spirit is undeniable.
Yes!
I am reminded of the Torah. In our temple, there is stained glass across the luminescent rainbow pattern. I see a woman, a mature woman. Her back is arched. She's smiling with a rose in her teeth. I cannot see her face.
I can see her. She is looking for Adonai.
She gently turns toward me. The woman staring back at me is
Gazing and staring.
fixing on my face. It is my face. I am old.
You will grow old, Lena. You will be the most beautiful old woman in the world.
And now we are the fish waiting to be caught in the giant net below. A girl's body pushes me out over the edge. I did not know who she was. I never got to look upon her face. And now, without another thought, another word, another human being to touch, I am falling towards the earth, towards Green Street.
Green Street! You must jump towards Green Street!
Dear word brings a smile to my face. Green. Green. I am reminded of the summers in Hanover.
The summers in Innsbruck.
Summers in Slovakia.
The luscious blades of towering grass. I would hide from my brother as we would play childish games, while my parents would try to find us. The succulent blades of towering grass. In the childish game we loved so much, I would hide from my brother and he would hide from me, deep in the grass, silent and motionless until...
Here! Below the street. Come on!
Why a spider?
I have it.
It bites out!
So do I.
It will bite you!
It's just as much afraid of you as you are of it.
I feel when I am here, nothing else matters. The fighting, the pain. Promise me, when you get married one day, that you would never hurt your wife. Never strike her, never hurt her. Promise me.
I promise.
Protect me from the world,
I'm your brother. I will always protect you.
even against him.
When I am big and strong enough, yes.
He hurts me. Father hurts me, so he hurts me.
I know. He does the same to me. But I promise you, when I am strong enough, he will never hurt you again.
They never knew where we went to escape pain. We would escape into the green, the beautiful, rich fields of emerald, jade, and malachite. It seems so simple, but he never came after us, after me, while we were here among nature. It was only in the confines of the house, the confines of that building, that held my soul captive.
As the wall disintegrates, I gaze across Manhattan's skyscape. The black, braiding smoke has cleared for a moment, allowing, finally, the snowy clouds to almost reach out and caress my hand, alluring me, inviting me. In a fraction of a second, our entire world has become a microcosm. My entire life fits on the head of a pin. So many pins. Our lives are threaded to this place, to this moment. The pattern of our lives is now exposed.
As I peer through the crumbling edifice, I can hear the cacophony of languages sifting through the haze of confusion. For the 16 years I have lived in the United States, I have not spoken a word of Russian. I speak in English. I read in English. In Russian, the words are harsh and bitter. In this new land, the words flow and fly. For English is now my tongue. This is how I will remember. My father taught us the words.
Gather around now. Gather around, girls. Come. Come.
My mother had passed away on the journey, but my father held such a warm heart, and against all odds brought us to this land of new.
We are in America now. We will speak only in English.
But father...
No, only English. Do you understand?
Yes, Father.
He taught us the words.
Work,
Work.
play,
Play,
joy,
joy,
heart,
heart,
compassion,
passion,
truth,
truth,
and family.
family.
You are my family. What has been left behind is only a memory. Always look forward, never back. Live now, my children. Live now. Work hard. Enjoy life. Always look forward, never back. One day soon, I will pass, and Lena, you will become head of the family.
Father, I'm scared.
You have a firmness, a vitality. One day you will find that strength in great measure and lead this family.
Yes, Father.
Never forget. Never look back. And never
Look down.
Never.
Look down. The curving sounds and puckered vowels roll down my lips, and I have one person to thank for this gift. My sister. As I stand on the fire escape, I gaze into my sister's eyes. There has been one word for love, and I cannot express my feelings through words anyhow. It's as if my heart has come to the realization that it is so much that she is.
All that I have in this world, and all that it will carry into the next one.
It didn't hold. It didn't hold.
Under the mounting pressure of bodies, the fire escape did not hold.
The elevator shaft, molten metal, I am drifting downwards.
We are all downward now. Compassion knows not the bounds of economics.
Chaos in my mind constricts my throat.
I can feel the smoke as it fills my lungs.
I feel nothing.
I see nothing.
We are nothing.
And we drift. As I gaze out across the clouds, I spot an illuminous painted mural of golden green lines snake across the body of a little bug. It's a butterfly. Its wings seem to pulsate at a different pace than real time. She flies with great difficulty, for one of her wings is defectively larger. She struggles to maintain her dignity, to maintain her flight, even in the face of certain doom. The oversized, deformed wing flutters harder to compensate for the fallacy of her birth, a lesser creature in a world that orders the survival of the fittest. Never has this butterfly flown so high and so far, 9 stories above the earth. But still, this little creature, full of spirit and beauty, maintains her dignity. She is determined that this difference, this deformity, will never affect her flight.
I can see the faces of my past, my relatives, my friends. I can see the images as if caught in a photograph. Near the bottom of the elevator shaft, a sea of flames has engulfed the tangled, aching, mourning bodies. I am falling down into a maelstrom of blood and tears. The golden flame is like a creature's tongue as it licks at my feet and quickly sucks me into its mouth. Now enveloped, I broil within the confines of my own skin.
As children, my sister and I would imagine we could dance on the evening clouds that settled low over the horizon. We would laugh until the last of the setting sun had vanished and the hungry moon would make its entrance. We would laugh
and laugh and laugh. We would stare off into the golden orb that was the moon and dream of chocolate. We would make up stories of tales of lands of opportunity.
Look, I can see it. It's there. Look, the little butterfly. Its contour seems to transform and metamorphose. The beast is almost like liquid. I can see it.
Then fly, my sister, fly.
As my sinew snaps and the layers of my muscle and flesh melt within themselves, I can only ask myself one question.
Why? Was this the work of my life? I had always wanted to be a ballerina.
You can be whatever you like here.
A dancer.
Yes.
A chocolate maker. A daughter. I'd always wanted to be a daughter. My family sees me as such a failure.
You can be whatever you want to be.
When can I choose what I want to be?
Very soon. Very, very soon.
I'm looking forward to it. But I'm scared.
It's okay. I'm with you. It's okay.
It's okay. So very scared.
I know, we all are. Swaths of beautifully rich fabric now lay scattered at my feet. The fluent material squeezes up through the holes between my toes. Oh, that blazing summer day my sister and I went to Brighton Beach. The warm sand curled between my toes. The sun beat down upon my sluggish body. I closed my eyes, protecting them from the harsh beams of light. I can still feel the tiny pebbles of sand massage my exposed skin. It sends pleasurable tingles up my spine and chills my head. With all my strength, my fingers now plunge into the rich felt. I attempt to grasp the material, but it slips through my fingers. I attempt to grasp the material again, with all my strength, but I cannot seem to grab hold. My fingernails are tearing, blood is pooling under my nails and streaming down my hands. The fabric of my existence is tearing apart. Along with the metal fire escape, my body careens downward through the black cavern toward the cornucopia of colored terrain. An overflowing profusion of images snare my eyes as the gnarled metal sled courses through my veins. The rusted piece of iron punctures my skin, enters my arms, my torso, and rests unapologetically above my abdomen. Still conscious, the bloody, burning bodies of broken flesh rain down around me like leaves of the copper beech tree. The bodies seem to cascade as they slowly rock back and forth, until they hit the ground with a soft thud. It is raining. It is raining hot blood. Hot, delicate, purple blood. My blood.
The fire started at 4:30 in the afternoon.
We were on the 9th floor. No one told us. No one warned us.
Doors were locked.
Locked.
We
We
were
were
locked
on a
in.
spit of fire.
Workers' strike of 1909 resulted in a signed agreement among all the clothing factories in New York for
United
safer working
States
conditions.
government had no authority over who
Every
signed it.
company signed the
Except
agreement.
the Triangle Shirtwaist factory.
March 25th,
1911.
New York.
less than 30 minutes.
146 bodies were
The
destroyed.
largest industrial disaster.
And now we live and die with them.
Of
We
capitalism.
left the country we thought
We
superior.
left our families with the promise of a richer
We
future.
left our land to a place we thought was different, secure.
One day.
Perhaps one day, but it's not the country's job to protect the people that work for it.
Isn't it?
So
So.
now what?
Not now.
No, not now, but now there is
Nothing but memories.
Nothing but fear.
Nothing but fulfillment.
Nothing but bells.
I see the land approaching. Faster and faster. Closer and closer. Through the brisk, blistering air, my body quivers. I'm approaching. Carry me. Hold me. Smile for me.
She cannot slow down.
She cannot stop.
Before she kisses the earth, she remembers. She remembers.
My body was found 10 feet below the sidewalk.
My body was discovered fused within a heap of molten metal of the 2 elevators that burned in the fire.
I hold my dear sister.
I hold my dear sister.
And I keep holding
And I keep
her.
holding her.
So tight.
And I will never let go.
Never.
Never.
We take one last journey together. One last adventure. The undiscovered country.
5 times I went up to get people. 5 times. But then the fire burned through the cable and we were stuck inside. In life, we build box barriers from those around us. So why is it only through tragedy do we come so close together? Why couldn't I reach out to those around me? Why did I stay in my box? Why did I hide and fear? We come into this world wet, crying, and alone. Some of us leave in exactly the same way. On this day, we left.
Together.
It is a journey none of us wishes to take. That path that awaits us all has been laid out before us. So, I too must travel.
Fire and smoke are closing my lungs. God's brick and mortar tears have fallen to burn through and bury themselves inside my body. My lungs are sanguine soot, and our bodies are carried away on a palatial chariot across the great city of New York. Hand in hand, soul in soul, all of us will cross the heavens into the temperate climate, married in unison as a single footprint upon this earth. One day, when the sun has risen just for us, we shall climb the steps into that place where there are sounds of laughing, a place of smiles and playfulness. Up. Up.
Towards home.